Welcome to Land Administration S'mores, where complex land issues meet campfire clarity. My name is Jack McKenna, geospatial consultant and land administration subject matter expert. Today's discussion: digitizing national land records. Why land? Well, a country's not making any more land. Land or land rights are typically the single biggest asset for both the government and the citizen. Land or land rights are the foundation for managing natural resources, transportation corridors, agricultural/food security, incentive for domestic and foreign investment. Land or land rights are the technical, legal, financial, and security foundation for economic growth and the ongoing success of the national government or municipality. Land is a source of revenue generation via carbon credits. For example, Hess Oil recently invested $750 million in Guyana for carbon credits from their forest reserves. What is the digitizing of land records? Land records provide information on land ownership and boundaries that are crucial for transferring property, obtaining loans, and facilitating other land-related transactions such as leases. Digitization is the process by which paper-based land records are converted into digital formats. Digital records are stored on a digital platform and can be accessible to citizens, developers, investors, and creditors via an online portal. Examples of countries which have digitized their land records include Belize, St. Kitts and Nevis, Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, Bermuda, and the Bahamas. Why should land records be digitized? Well, first of all, it reduces corruption. The digitized system is tamper-proof. Electronic records are protected with access restrictions, subscriptions, permissions, and passwords. It creates an audit trail and alerting any alterations that are unauthorized. Eliminates the discrepancies and errors associated with manual record keeping. When records are inspected by lawyers or paralegals and are either not returned or filed wrongly when they are returned, and that happens a lot. It mitigates the risk of losing a country's land records from natural disasters, such as storms, hurricanes, and earthquakes. Caribbean countries that experience loss of records due to events such as earthquakes and hurricanes are Haiti, earthquake; Dominica, hurricane; Puerto Rico, hurricane; the Bahamas, hurricane; Jamaica, hurricane; Turks and Caicos, hurricane. Government benefits. It provides governments with the data required for rural and urban planning, infrastructural development, resource management such as the forests and mangroves. Facilitates revenue generation via permits, property valuation, and taxation. Preserves land records from physical damage. Paper deteriorates over time, the ink fades, and pages get lost or torn. Provides the data required for potential climate change benefits. For example, provides the land ownership of the mangroves or forests to establish carbon credit revenue. This is an example of land records before digitization. This is not a pretty sight. There's another land records before digitization, an even less pretty sight. And then there's this one. This one was difficult. We had a go at it. We made it a little bit better, but it wasn't perfect. It still was not a pretty sight. Land administration system modernization financing. Governments can finance the digitization of land records by internal government funding, grants from donor agencies such as the World Bank or Inter-American Development Bank, or loans from the World Bank or Inter-American Development Bank. Financing for land administration systems modernization and examples of agencies. Multinational development banks, for example, World Bank, WB, and Inter-American Bank, Inter-American Development Bank, IADB, bilateral aid agencies, for example, USAID, with a bit of a question mark over it at this point in time, the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, UN agencies, for example, Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and UN Habitat. Regional organizations, for example, African Development Bank, ADB, and Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, and NGOs and foundations. Possible lending and donor agencies. Current status needs to be checked due to the state of flux in this arena. The Inter-American Development Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank, the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, United Kingdom Foreign Commonwealth Development Office. Steps in the digitization process. Number 1, preparation. Land records are scrubbed, organized, and repaired if necessary. Scanning. Process number 2. State-of-the-art scanners are used to digitize the records. Records are carefully checked to ensure that the scanned image matches the original paper record. Number 3, indexing. Following digitization, each record is indexed to enable retrieval from the digital archive. Indexing applies to such indicators as the date, owner's name, property location, approximate size, and title reference. Index fields are extracted from the land records. Process number 4, quality control. Each digital record undergoes a quality control check to ensure that the digital version accurately represents the original paper version. Delivery and storage. Digital records are stored in digital repositories, including on-site digital storage systems and cloud-based backup systems. Hard copies are stored in metal cabinets or vaults. Security protocols are implemented for data security. Steps in the digitization process. Number 5, software installation. Land administration software is installed so records are encrypted, backed up, and protected. Records can also be made accessible via an online portal and on-site via a kiosk. Training. Staff are trained in using the new land administration software. Training certificates are issued. Process number 6, software maintenance. The software is maintained by the provider for a monthly maintenance fee. That fee covers updating the software and remediating any issues that may arise. A modernized land registry, well, the digitization of land records results in the modernization of a manually operated land registry. A land registry is a national depository of all land records. All transactions involving land are registered at the land registry. It is revenue generating in the collection of revenue from documents being registered, the purchase of copies, and fees for searches. There is a built-in cashiering system that records each transaction and generates revenue. See below an example of a land register that is the end product of the digitization process. A land register is an instrument of the title of land that is issued by the land registry. This is a paper record that has been digitized into a land register. A public awareness campaign is very necessary. The public have to be informed. They have to know what's going on, because if they don't know what's going on, they get upset. Public access to land records. The public can access government registry records in 2 ways. Members of the public travel to the Central Land Registry Records Office, typically in the country capital. In Belize, for instance, this can take up to 3 hours by bus from each of the 6 main Belize cities. When they arrive at the capital Land Registry Records Office, they get in line to request whatever hard copy records they need, and they pay the fees associated with receiving hard copy records. The crowds can be large within the registry office, and often they have to return on another day to get the land records copies they need. Members of the public who pay a subscription fee to access the land records can access the records on a public access portal at their home or work internet. If they do not have personal internet access, they can go to the local government office to log into the central records databases. The registry office can be a very busy place. The public visit the land registry office to request and pay for copies of land records. The Lands and Surveys Office, the repository of the cadastral, it's tasked with maintaining the government geodetic and cadastral records. Use of a government digital database. The mission of a modernized land registry is to provide public access for online searches and copies, to allow documents to be filed and processed online, to have all documents stored electronically. Sustainable results for countries. Prior to the digitization of land records, a typical manual land registry transaction could take as long as 1 year. Now it's 30 days and even 20 minutes on occasion. All government departments have access to the land records data. It provides diversified revenue for the government budget, increased public confidence in the transparency of land ownership, legal validity of land rights, and equity in the valuation for taxation. Secure land tenure is established for posterity. Additional comprehensive land administration information is available in the Jack McKenna book, A Land Administration Toolkit, available on Amazon. I can be contacted at jack_McKenna@landdataplus.com. Thank you for your time and interest.